if you have seen these tweets, you're like, okay, something is happening. XRP is going to get the global coverage which it needs for its liquidity solution. Is it just hype or what the reality is? You can look at that in detail. Now the documents which I'm going to present to you is from Financial Stability Board, World Bank talking about central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments, and World Economic Forum. All of them going to give you that highlight what it really means that the on-demand liquidity is going to get the global coverage. Now, if you don't understand these points, you need to take note of this. Say you have a lot to go in this, but we'll just touch on all the important points which you need. So this one precisely shows you, look at the last quarter here. Last year, they were exploring the liquidity bridges. Great. So what are they going to do next year? That's this year. Look at the third quarter. What are they going to do? Liquidity bridges framework, and followed by that, interlinking this framework. So it's at a stage where you are going to see things happening pretty quickly. So now we come on to this document. You can just look at the executive summary. Now you need to understand, this is a big document, right? 36 pages. But in the executive summary, when they put that everything together, compiled, concise, they only talk about the important stuff. And at that point, you get this: fundamental, operational, technical areas. What is that? For example, liquidity bridges, ISO 20022 messaging format. Now this comes directly from the Financial Stability Board while they talk about cross-border payments. Great. Now we go on to the World Bank document, and then you look at different areas. Now you have a ton of this, but for those people who are kind of highlighting, okay, they didn't actually name Ripple, they didn't actually name XRP, come here in the World Bank document, you are going to get their name. They are naming the Ripple network, they are naming the XRP as an asset. Now, when you look at this and say, okay, does this connect? Yes, they are naming them for the exact same source what you just saw there: liquidity and bridge between two assets. Here, fiat currencies. That's going to be central bank digital currencies soon, but you get the idea. But at this point, you need to also look at this stuff saying majority of the XRP holders who came in with the recent price appreciation towards $2, maybe they don't even know this. XRP works on Byzantine General's problem consensus protocol, which is like BGP, right? Now World Bank gives you that detail, so that means they are looking into this in detail, and they right now understand how this protocol works, how much transaction can be processed, and what's the cost. That is heavy because they highlight this stuff here, that the supply is burned. So the total supply decreases over time, and in theory, it maintains its value. So when demand is there, supply goes down, it's common sense, the price goes up. It's not like something is going to zero. It won't happen. And if you are like, okay, fine, they are naming XRP or Ripple as a stable coin, but this one you understand, they do understand the supply is reducing. So the stable coin is not that stable coin which you actually think when you hear the term stable coin. This is different. This is stable coin giving you that stability during that payment. When you are sending $1, you need to receive $1 at the other end. You get the point, because the transaction gets executed in a short time span. Now we go on to the World Economic Forum. Now there's a lot of documents, a lot of information, but you need to get this. You're coming down here, you're talking about what? You're talking about the same exact stuff. Privately created digital assets to facilitate CBDC. What does that mean? The way that move, a bridge currency. So here they're giving examples, one of which is XRP, and they're talking about a bridge currency. For what? Interbank payments. So guys, now we will actually go in detail and look at these and give you what they are talking about. But understand, there are a lot of stuffs happening, and one of these improvement which happened recently last month is this: Euro stablecoin is going to run on XRP ledger. All of this is pointing towards one stuff. Yes, they are going to get global coverage. That definitely means the price is going to go higher. And if you are waiting on the sidelines, You can consider all of this and decide what you have to do. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now guys, this channel is like 2.5 years old, and if you remember, the first pick which we dropped here is this one. This road is a long way, we're just starting, but XRP is a global bridge asset. Now this is like 2.5 years old. Whoever has watched this channel for a long time know this. Now when we come on to all these documents, we get the same narrative played out. Bridge currency, liquidity bridge. All of these words means something. Now in this documents, we are going to cover through all of those, give you that idea where they are taking you guys towards. Now, it's not just about small payments, it's about big payments. Because if you are sending $100 and yes, you're charged $8, it is heavy on you, but think about the institutions, the big guys, when they're sending millions of dollars across the border. Look at Microsoft, Amazon, big companies, the multinational companies working in India, China, Japan. They're sending back the money towards their home country. So for them, they literally have to take actions to reduce that cost, because the aim is to reduce that to 1%. I actually read that here in maybe in this document. I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Yeah. They are looking at the transactional value, making that below 1%. Now that is not that small, right? 1% is a low cost. So to get there, they literally need to use a new technology, and they right now have that technology. And Ripple was highlighting, if you just use Ripple without using XRP, the digital asset, we can reduce 33% of the cost which is there. Now you go on, look at that actual document here. Now that's a big document. Again, I'm just showing you the key portion. If you want to look it through, I'll actually put all these links in the description below, so you can go and check yourself and ensure, okay, this guy's not making things up. So this one show you this. Ripple plus XRP again reduces another 9%. So instead of 33%, now it's reducing 42% of your cost. So if you are saying your bank is charging you 8% right now, just by using Ripple and XRP, you get to reduce 42% of that. That's huge. You go look at a lot of things, as I've shown before, you are kind of like, okay, this is life-changing for those who are working abroad and those who are going to use this. Now, I'm not only saying it's only XRP, it's only XLM. There are stuffs where, you get to see stable coins, as we just saw here in these documents, and you see a different name. Now, this one is also a payment token. We all understand that, right? So, one of big bank in Korea, and they're doing this on Hedra network. So, now HBAR is also a fundamental token, payments token. You look at XDC, you look at Quant. These are all going to stay here. Yes, the difference but this is XRP can do this connected to the Interledger protocol, which is now being run by a lot of financial institutions. And this gives you a major chunk of the world. World is big. There are going to be domestic payment system. There are going to be international payment system. But the domestic stuff, small stuff, can be others. Quant, HBAR, XLM, all of those would be there. It's not just going to be just XRP. But understand, XRP is going to eat a big chunk of this market, which is the target market for us. That's payments, cross-border payments. So you look at what they are looking at. The current challenges for the wholesale central bank currency, the wholesale payments, and you're like, okay, all of this is existing. More than 90% of individuals, including those without bank accounts, who wish to send or receive a remittance payment to other countries, is paying like these. Now they are eyeing within the next 5 years, they're going to reduce that to 1%. They're going to come up with something where the fee is kind of negligible. If you send $100, you're going to get kind of $100. That's okay. So your fintech competition is going to increase and the adoption rate is going to increase. Now, let's actually jump into this one, right? We are talking this for some time, but we also need to understand why we are talking about this. You look at all those stuff and you're like, okay, there is a lot of different stuffs happening. Now just look at this area. You're like, okay, do you actually see what is happening? Now US can be left out from this, I don't know, but you look at Singapore dollar, it's them. You look at Thai baht, it's there. You look at United Arab Emirates and it's there. Then you come and look at XRP. It's termed as a cryptocurrency from Ripple, but we all know, it is a open source technology. And you don't actually see a lot of others. But when you come on to the World Economic Forum and you talk about this, yes, you see interoperability layers, interoperability bridge. Let me get to that one. So when you jump, oh my God, that is like, a ton of stuff we have to actually look at. So I'm minimizing that because, I've read this. Now that's a big document. It's like 200 pages. So it's really going to be hard to get through all of those. So what I'm trying to do is take you to an area where they talk literally about these interoperability layers and what you can actually use to solve this. And they give you different names, including, Polkadot and different assets there. Let me see where they actually talked about that. Defining interoperability 175 CBDC technology consideration. So let's actually jump on to 175 and look what they are talking about. Okay, defining interoperability, great. So they are going through this. Let me see. Definition of interoperability. They talk about what they are looking at, and they talk about different factors which need to be implemented inside that, right? Then if it's central bank digital currency, wholesale or retail central bank digital currency, these are all going to be there. And then they give you, different protocols, different pilot test, which now this is one of the reasons why I highlighted that in the World Bank document, Bank of Thailand. You get to see there, they pilot test. Then you go through these interoperability designs and they come down and talk about the scenario where they kind of give you that interledger protocol can be one of the interoperability solution. So you come down here, examples of interoperability solution, you get interledger protocol. Now interledger protocol is something from Ripple, and that's connecting XRP ledger as a settlement engine and everything else in the world. So that's one of the big stuff where Ripple already has a ton of banks inside them. Big banks around the globe, across, all continents. So that gives them the advantage. Then, yes, you see Polkadot. Yes, you see Cosmos. Yes, you see Syscoin and other projects. But you need to understand, it's here. You don't need to be there when you are talking about scalability, right? So the chances are like, it's going to be there. This is going to be a big space. Some of them will take 1%, 5%. Some of them are going to eat out 50, 60% of this market. And this market is big. So as you talk through this, you actually understand all big institutions. Now leave the small ones. Bank of International Settlements, World Economic Forum, World Bank, Financial Stability Board, United Nations. You get to see all of these reports and you are like, okay, fine, this is something really big. I need to focus on this. Great. So when you go through this, you actually understand, okay, fine. They really talk about this. Unlike Bitcoin or Ether. Now this is from World Bank, right? Ripple does not run proof of work, nor does it run a proof of stake consensus mechanism. So they are like, they don't even touch those worst stuff. This is the attitude, at least what I feel when I'm reading this stuff. They're like, okay, they don't even touch proof of work. That is like, proof of work is shit. Now, that's just my thought process, but that's what I understood from reading that document. So if you read this, let me know what you think. As you're reading through this, is it just my prejudice or you get this understanding? Because before, no one used to even understand what RippleNet is, what XRP Ledger is, and right now they're going and giving you all this detail. To that point, they are like, the payment is rejected immediately if it's a badly formed transaction. So they are like, okay, this can be used. And how does that payment get validated? It gets validated using the validated nodes, which are regulated institutions. Now, all those stuff are huge. The fact is that 55 validator nodes all belong to Ripple. This is expected to change as a third-party validator node join the network. So right now, when you look at the total validator nodes, the value of the network is kind of, now you go to the science. Now, I know most of you don't actually want that, but that's the multiplication of the number of nodes in that network. Now, we don't have 55. Don't get confused. We have like 200 nodes there. So Ripple is not that heavy in that node. Maybe they are like, 7%, 8% in the overall structure. But right now, this is like 3-4 months old. Now, it's not too old, but it's giving you that clarity of that. They understand this. Each of Ripple's validator nodes will be removed for every 2 third-party nodes that join. Now, I didn't know this before, but right now, they know this. That's the important stuff. So they have gone into that depth and they understand how they're going to utilize this network. And for what, we have just gone through the reasons. Now, look at this market. This market is not that small market. When you actually go through this and read through, private label cryptocurrencies, they are talking about the total money moving there. It's like, 595 trillion is kind of the derivative market. That's not small. And it was like 10 trillion in one side. So, you actually get to see big numbers and you are like, okay, that's big. So as I've talked about the big value transactions, you look at this. Clearing and settlement infrastructure such as Canada's large value transfer system. All of this need to move money. And they are talking about indeed the instantaneous cross-border transfer of digital tokens exchangeable for cash eliminates the need for cumbersome process of intraday, all this collateral. You need to have a ton of stuff, which is friction. Now, we just saw that Ripple reduces all those friction. So when you transfer this big chunk of money, will you go for something better, something, great? There's no doubt. Just you need the regulatory clarity. And when you see Financial Stability Board coming out here highlighting this, they are if you have seen the executive order from the President of the United States, you now understand this is all going to that direction where it's going to be smooth. Now, okay, you guys actually got to know this is staying there. This is all great. But what about the price? This is something which everyone asks. Now, you should ask because, we are not only here for the technology. You are here to make money, right? You are here as an investor because you understand this technology is going to move higher. It is going to be served as a currency which you can use to move from one exchange to another, one wallet to another. Yeah, you can literally do that. And this is the cheapest one and the fastest one. I've tried a lot of them and I feel that way. Now, look at this. You broke above this one. You came back, you retested. Now you're slowly bouncing back. You're moving to the upside. So if you are going to measure, you're going to measure the targeted measured move here. And you're like, okay, there is a possibility we may move 50% directly from here. That takes us somewhere close to 1.1. Now, that's not big price fluctuation, but that is significant move. So when you're above $1, that's going to be the psychological level. So yes, the market is showing you that it is getting volume. It is slowly moving higher. But you get to see there are a lot of different coins which are moving higher than big coins. Small coins are kind of getting more volume. They're pumping. You have literally observing that money is coming back into the market. And if you still believe money is coming into the market, when the market is in a bear market scenario, you need to actually ask that question to yourself again and again and try to respond looking at the history, because that's not always the same case. Now, I actually wanted to share a lot more details in this video, but I think it's too long. I'll take that for the next video and give you that detail. Now, that's again important aspect of an investor, because you get to know all this detail about your favorite asset and what it's going to do and what's the fundamental is. Then you're looking as general. You are an investor. What you should be looking at, Fed is raising rates. What does that mean? You need to look at multiple factors scientifically and understand what happened in the history, what you can expect in the near future, how you should be prepared and all. So we are going to come with that in the next video in detail, and you are going to be able to understand what your portfolio looks like and how you can manage that. Because if you have a ton of assets, you are now asking that question, we are going to start wave 2 soon, and it really feels like that, right? Are you ready for that? Is your portfolio well balanced for that? If not, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where you can do a one-on-one session with me, or you get to see all the charts, wave 2 structures, what are the anticipated targets, and all other stuff. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. That really supports the channel. I'm seeing, likes are less, but at least if you received value, please consider doing that. And if you're here for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button. That do support the channel. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.